Hi, this is Togo. This is for sensing and feeling, about distribution of the movement throughout the body. Addresses the movement of the foot and hand. Lie on the floor. Examine the way the body lies on the floor in details. How do the heels lie? How different the heel touch the floor. Not symmetrical with the feet. Calf muscles. Back of the knees. Hip joint. Coccyx. Pelvis. The small of the back, lumbar region, floating ribs, ribs on the right and the left, the shoulder blades, the arms. Note how different you feel one hand, one elbow, and one shoulder lie on the floor compared to the other. How far are they from the body? They are not equal distances. Think of the space, the angle between the right ear to the neck and the right shoulder. See whether you could trace on the floor. Think of the right side of the head, the right temple, the corner of the eye, the ear, the cheek, the jaw, down the throat, behind below the ear, the shape of the neck, the shape of the shoulder, to the tip of the shoulder, the right clavicle, and the shoulder blade. Now on the left side of the head, left temple, corner of the eye on the left ear, left cheek, along the throat on the left, along the neck on the left clavicle, and the shoulder blade. Now see whether you can think the both shoulders feel the same. Are they same width? Is the head really in the middle? Very slowly, move both feet in such a way as to flex them. Flex them. Don't change the position, just flex them. Flex them again and stay there. Can you feel what this does to the head? Do that again and lower, flex again. And you see whether you can feel the movement straight up to the head, where the head lies. Now slowly extend your feet. When you hold the heels on the floor and flex and extend your feet, the whole body goes up and down. Up means towards the head and down means towards the feet. When you flex the feet and slide your heels, the whole body won't move. You stand with back of your heels, which allow you to push the body. When you flex and extend your feet, the head grows out of the shoulders and come back. So you don't change the position of the heels, but it's the body that changes the position. Feet apart, not together. Press the heel on the floor. Flex the feet and move the whole spine. Flex the feet and move the whole body. Now place both palms on the floor, alongside of the body. Palms on the floor, not the knuckles, not the back of the hand. Now help with the palms on the floor to do the same thing what the heels do. It means that you help with the hands to rock the body like how you did with your feet. When you flex your feet, you push with the hands on the floor. Do that discreetly. It means the movement and another movement. Separate entity. Do slowly. Press the hands on the floor so that the friction does not let the hands slide. Exactly as you did with the heels. The heels stay at the same place so that moving the feet actually push the spine through the chest, through all the ribs, all the vertebrae, sternum, chest bone, all of those getting locomotion. Allow the whole body move up and down like a jello, like a pudding. If the chest is stiff or held, The body won't move up and down until the back and the chest become more responsive. Stop for a minute and do it only with the right side. Only with the right side. Note what happened to the chest and the body. Don't hurry. Don't let one movement clear so that you can feel that something is happening to the chest and the pelvis with quite differently from the middle. Slowly until you can realize what you are doing. Repeat several times, right side only. Each time thinking of the whole right side, the head, the right shoulder, the right ear, and the space between your neck and your right shoulder. Now do it with the right hand only, without the heel, with the right hand only. And observe when you do it with the right hand only, the right heel slides a little bit on the floor. Now notice that the hand is not only for pushing, but also for pulling. The right side with the hand goes up and also goes down. Push the floor and pull the floor. Push the floor and pull the floor. How do you use the right hand, fingers, and the right elbow to make the movement easier? Maybe you could change the position of the elbow relative to the body and make it easier or more difficult. See what happens if the elbow is away from the body more than the hand. The hand is nearer to the body than the elbow. Now straighten your right arm. Lift your right elbow off the floor to make your right arm straight. Hyperextend your right elbow and do the movement. Can you sense the difference? How does the lower back change? Now, in between the two, change the position of the arm so that you feel more comfortable, more effective, and easier. Stop it. Now do the same thing with the right heel only. The right heel only. Now move the right side with the right hand and the right heel together. Don't hurry. Don't hurry. Notice what happens when you push like that upward, not on the right side. Which part actually tends to touch the floor and which is lifting off the floor. As the pelvis is locked, the small of the back goes to touch the floor, and the shoulder does the exact opposite, lift off the floor. The right shoulder goes up off the floor, but the shoulder blade lies better. The upper ribs in front are pressed down into the chest so that the back of the chest is widened on the floor. Because the back of the ribs, the floating ribs lies on the floor. Touch the floor when you push like that with your heel. Can you see that when you make something unfamiliar, change the muscular movement all over the place? Therefore, something in the brain must change to produce a new pattern, not used before. Now stop it. Just sense the difference between the right side and the left side of the body. At the beginning, the movement was everything both sides equally, both in the hips and the chest. And later, only a few movements on one side was explored. Can you now feel when you do and pay attention, something happened on that side? What doesn't happen when you don't do that when you don't pay attention? Can you feel the difference between the right and the left? Now stretch your right hand overhead on the floor so that the knuckles are above the head and touching the floor. It doesn't matter whether the arm is straight or not, just touch the floor with the knuckles. Now push again the right side with the right heel and see what does to the right hand. What does it do to the knuckle on the floor? When you push with the right heel, think of letting the right knuckle move more upward with each push. Think of the knuckle moving a little bit more, but you needn't go out to stretch each time. Slowly, Go and stop, and then push again, and let it go another little bit. Observe while you do that. What is lifting off the floor to allow the arm to move? Which part left? Which part lower to the floor to allow the arm to move a little bit more? Now stop that and slowly bring your arm down because it might ache. Because the change is much bigger than you expect. You can feel something change in the shoulder blade and the pectoral muscles. Now do again the right side with both the right hand and the right foot together and see how much clearer the body becomes. Can you sense that the amount of the movement is significantly increased? You wonder how come you hardly move at all to begin with. Now, pull with the right hand and push with the right heel. Pull with the right hand and push with the right heel. And the other way around. Push with the right hand and pull with the right heel. That means the hand and the foot are opposite. Now observe which parts are down, press to the floor, which parts are going up. And observe also whether the head moves or the chin moves. Slowly until you are sure that you are moving in the opposite direction with the hand and the foot and the heel. And now move them together again, same as before. Move them as before means together. The hand helping the foot and the foot helping the hand. Increase the friction on the floor and the power on the floor, pushing and the elbow sideways. Does your left foot move exactly like the right? The left foot goes together with the right foot, which means undifferentiated. Unless you have an injury to the spine and break in the continuity in the back, the healthy person should be able to move the right foot independently without the left foot. If you learn how to separate, differentiate the movement, strain, sprain in the knees and feet, all sorts of problems should be avoided. It's like biting your tongue all the time because you didn't learn to speak and eat at the same time. The children often bite the tongue, but when you grow up, it doesn't happen as much. Now stop a minute and put your right hand over the head on the floor and see whether the right hand feels lower to the floor or lies better. Now again, push the floor with the heel and see whether you can straighten and make the knuckles move bigger distance up and down. While you do that, each time you push, look at your hand. When you do that, see whether you're getting a bigger movement or smaller movement. Look at the hand while you do it. Look at the hand while you do it. When you move, you look. When you move, you look. Which part of the chest are now pushed to the floor? Can you feel that it's different? Now look to the ceiling and see whether pushing with the foot and stretching, that is something different from before. Can you see the chest lifts less and changes shape? Everything is being different from before. Actually, some parts don't lift anymore from the floor. Now stop it. Just lower your arms to the side of the body slowly. Move slowly because otherwise it might be painful. Now compare the sensation on the right and on the left. The way the body lies, the right heel, the right knee, the back of the right knee, the right hip joint, the small of the back, the chest, the right arm, the right shoulder, and at the same time, feeling of the right shoulder, the right clavicle, the neck, the head, the right cheek, and the right ear. See how much wider the right side feels than the left side. Roll on your side, get up and walk around, and see the difference between the right and the left. Just walk and see. See if you feel the differences between the right side and the left side, the right arm, the right leg, the right hip joint, and the left, the right side of the face, the right eye, the right corner of the mouth. Just walk around and see whether you feel the difference. Have a look at both sides of the shoulders and the neck. Which side looks nicer? Which side looks better? Now lift your left hand overhead and lower it and do it a few times. Just feel how it is. Now do it on the right side and see the difference. Remember at the beginning we did both sides equally for some time and only a few movements with the right side. Lift again and realize that the right side has learned something and the left side has not. Look at your face, the right shoulder, and the right clavicle. How different are the width and the shape of the face and the chest on the right side compared to the left side? Realize that these things do something which cannot be done in any other way. If you look at the height of the shoulders, you see one shoulder is higher than the other, and the one clavicle is wider than the other. Lie on your back. Can you detect the difference in your body from one side to the other? Lie on your stomach. Flex your feet as much as you feel comfortable. Stand with the toes on the floor as if for running. Put both hands at the side of your shoulders as if for pushing up. It means the elbows are in the air. Not to rub your nose or chin on the floor. Lift it a little bit, but keep it straight, not on one side, but in the middle. Now slowly extend your feet. Therefore, you will find that your knees must lift off the floor. Dig your toes as if for running, so that you have the same effect as before with heels. When you push the floor, you'll find both knees lift off the floor. Bend your knees, rest them on the floor, and push the floor with your feet and lift your knees. Push and lift them discreetly means discrete movement. Each movement separate. Feel that when you push the floor, knees lift and leave the floor. Observe the body gets bigger and the head moves forward. How does it do it? Now observe when you straighten your knees, the pelvis is pushed and push the spine. That changes the relationship of the chest to the pelvis. Therefore, the head grows out of the shoulders and the nose and the chin moves on the floor and becoming taller. Now do that slowly. Help the movement with your hands so that you can push the floor back with your hands to move forward and go forward even more. You feel that the elbow moves forward as much as the heels move forward. Note the elbows and the heels move the same way. Forward and backward. Forward and backward. Lift the head only enough not to clean the floor with your face. Stop a minute, rest a minute. Now put your right foot only, like you did before. The right foot only. So that one foot can go forward, but the other foot stays behind. Now put your right hand on the floor like you did a minute ago. And place the left hand along the side of the body, the knuckle on the floor, and the palm upward. Now turn your face to the right. Push with the right toes on the floor and see what the body does. Help with the right hand. Keep on doing gently, slowly. Now observe that your right foot can move and push with the big toe and also can move and push with the small toe. Move your foot so that the right heel, right and left to push with the different toes to find out which is the best position for the right foot to push the floor most efficiently. It is not on the big toe, not on the small toe, but it is a push is between the big toe and the second toe. That is where the strong good foot pushes. If you force yourself to do it, you may feel painful or cramp in the foot. So you do it gently. Stop a minute and rest. And try again. The rest is only the interruption of the movement. You lift the right knee off the floor by pushing with the right foot. Now hold the right foot as you are, but do the movement only with the right hand. Both up and down, only with the right hand. Only with the right shoulder. Only with the right elbow. Move up and down. Move in the direction of the head and the feet. In human body, up means direction of the head. So move upward and downward with your right shoulder, right elbow, and right hand. See whether you can leave the head lying, not hold it, and that makes a big difference. Lie the head, don't hold it. Put it on the floor. Stop it. Now stretch the right arm overhead on the floor. Push with the right foot and look at the right hand with each push so that the right hand can get longer. With each push, each time lift the right knee, put it on the floor, and push and look at the right hand. See whether you can actually make the right hand move at least as much as the right heel. Do slowly. Observe that are there any changes in the front of the chest on the floor? Is your lower ribs protruding unnecessarily? Can you feel something happening there, different from one side to the other? Now stop that. Lie on your back again. Observe that the difference between the right and left. Now note that at the beginning you did everything with both sides equally, and then show you that once you pay attention improves and changes much more than just when you do it. Now this time again, put your right heel, dig your right heel into the floor and leave the left one alone. And with the right hand on the floor, help the body move the right side only. Both the right hand and the right heel together at the same time. Observe the extent how much bigger the movement became in the shoulder, in the chest, and in the hip. Observe how much more movement there is now. Notice if your right arm is straight, means hyperextended right elbow. The movement is much smaller. Allow the right elbow move away, bend a little, and see how the movement gets bigger. If you don't want the elbow to bend, the elbow wouldn't be there. Now lie still and just look at your body again, like at the beginning. See whether you can feel slight differences from before. Here's how the right one is and the left one is. Which foot is turned more outside, the right or the left? Feel the different sensation in the right elbow and the left elbow, and the right side of the chest and the left. Now look again at the corner between the right shoulder and the neck on the floor, the clavicle, the shoulder blade. Can you sense and feel the difference? The right side of the face, temple, the corner of the eye, the right cheek, the right ear, the corner of the jaw, and the neck, and the corner all together. Now bend the right knee and stand on your right foot. and bend the right arm above your head. Bend your right elbow and place the palm of your right hand on the floor, with the fingers towards your feet as if to make a bridge. Lift your right hip joint as if to taking to the left, and then the right hand will be standing better on the floor. Find the point where you can do it. If you put the hand elsewhere, you can do it. Put it where you can do it. While the right knee remains standing, lift your right hip joint away from the floor. Second afterward, the right shoulder lifts and it's easier to organize the right hand on the floor. Keep on doing that until you can put the right hand standing firmly on the floor. And come back with the pelvis and lift it again, and keep on doing that. Which moves first, the hip joint or the shoulder? Is it the hip joint that goes first and then the shoulder? Now try to do the opposite. Lift first the shoulder. Don't lift the hip at all. Just the shoulder. It doesn't matter how small the movement is. Now watch, when you lift the shoulder, the chest does something quite different from before. The part that was lifting before is now going down on the chest. Observe that. Move the shoulder only. Position your hand so that you can do it. Now lift again the right corner of the pelvis, mean the right hip joint. And see, now the right hand can lift the shoulder more. Actually, there is a room for the head to go under the right arm. The back of the head. Look to your left, and the back of the head can go under the right arm. Now lift the right hip joint. Lift the shoulder and the head back. Keep on doing that until you can organize the movement becoming simple. You must look to the left, otherwise you can take the back of the head there. Look to the left and take the back of the head back under the right arm. Move it until you can see your elbow. Slowly and back again. Now stay like that for a second. Keep your hand and foot on the floor. Lift only the right hip joint a little bit and lower it. And lift the right shoulder and lower it. Don't take the head under the arm. Leave the head normal on the floor. Alternate. Lift the hip, lower it. Lift the shoulder, lower it. Keep on doing that gently. Don't roll. Just lift the hip and lift the shoulder. Now lift the shoulder and hip together. Now put the shoulder back on the floor clearly, so that it's like a little bang. Put the shoulder back with a little bang. Put the pelvis back with a little bang. Bang, 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 bang. Now a few times. Now lift them both together and bang them both together. It's difficult to make really together. Try again, without rolling on the side. It's a muscle on the side that do it. Now stop it and stretch out the right leg and the right arm. And again, examine the right side of the head, the temple, the corner of the eye, the ear, the cheek, the jaw, and the chin, and the back of the neck on the right, and the corner between the neck and the shoulder, and the right shoulder tip, the clavicle, and the shoulder blade. Can you sense and feel the difference between the right side and the left side? Now slowly get up. Walk around, observe what changes in your face and shoulders. Can you see the difference? Can you sense the difference? Can you feel the difference? Is the difference enhanced? Which leg is more lighter, freer, and softer in walking now? Which leg is a clever leg? Which arm is a clever arm? Which hip joint is a clever hip joint? Sense the feeling in the right and left foot, the right knee, the right hip joint, the right shoulder, the right side of the body. See what the right side feels compared to the left side does. Thank you very much. Have a day that is clever.